Man versus Slug.
Welcome back to Man vs Slug. We're into the second week in March now. The snow's gone away, the sun's come out, so I'm back out in the garden. You may have noticed at the end of the last video I put a lot of sticks onto the top raised bed to deter the cat from using that as a litter tray. That's been highly successful, and now the cat is using the lower raised bed as its litter tray. So first thing this morning I am going to be repeating the process. I've got some canes here that I'll be putting down to put the cat off from using this raised bed either. Hopefully it can find somewhere else to do its business. Now also this week we're going to be putting the first seeds into the ground directly. That will take the form of radishes, and hopefully then early April we'll be able to start harvesting from the raised beds. But first I'm going to finish my coffee. Our sheep have been surprisingly effective at putting the cat off. It was noticeable that wherever the cat was doing what it does best was sort of distinctly away from the sheep. So one strategy to put cats off might be just to get a lot of ceramic sheep and fill your garden with those. But I'm not sure they'd make the best basis to grow vegetables. The radishes we're going to be planting Cherry Bell, which is one of the varieties recommended by Huw Richards. Veg in one bed. On the back of the packet it says that we should plant into a soil that has been raked to a fine till. Don't even know what a fine till is. Does that look like a fine till? Well, that's where they're going. They only need to go a centimetre deep, so we're just going to draw stick. Well, I think that'll be, there we go, just fine. And I'm going to sprinkle them into there. Now we've got the seeds in the ground, I'm just going to cover them up loosely. And then the last thing I'm going to be doing for these is covering them up with just some planks of wood. Just covering up the last ones. There we go. So by covering them up with planks of wood, we'll be protecting them. Apparently they germinate a little bit faster because they're going to get kept warm. It protects them from birds eating. And that is the first of the seeds into the raised bed. So we've only done one row of radishes here. Don't take up too much space. We'll do a second row next week, because then we'll get a sort of succession of radishes coming. Maybe we'll give it 2 weeks between planting. Could it be? Could it be growing?
One's growing! 2 of them are! Let's go!
Look, there, they're all growing! We are going to plant the broad beans into the toilet rolls so we don't damage their roots when we're planting them in the raised beds.
For the broad beans we are planting Bunyard's Exhibition, which is another of the varieties that has been recommended. Veg in one bed. So how do you know which way up the seeds go? You're getting them the right way up.
You don't need to worry about that because gravity will right them when the roots are growing.
Okay, so we're not going to have roots coming out of the ground and plants going into the floor.
Nope. No way is that going to happen. We're going to go back to the greenhouse to put a little bit more soil in before we water them.
It's the end of the week now. We can see from a couple of radish seeds that weren't properly buried that they're starting to germinate already. I'll be putting that plank back down. The other bit of good news is that the sticks seems to have kept the cat away for the entire week. Or maybe it's been the constant rain. The peas have been looking lively, and hopefully we'll have a little bit more video to show you about those next week. No sign of life from the broad beans yet, but we weren't expecting that because the packet did say 7 to 10 days for germination. And lastly, the tomatoes that have germinated now are thriving nicely. And next week we'll maybe discuss why some of them have germinated and why others haven't.